Byzantine Empire, okay? That's where we at. Y'all see that, right? Show y'all the little map. Okay, it's kind of blurry. Let me see if I can. It's blurry. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, but I'm gonna let y'all read it. I'm doing this with my phone. I appreciate everybody hanging in there and bearing with me. Okay. I'm gonna go down to the Islamic Caliphate. So Islamic Caliphate, okay. Now, see they talk okay, Islamic Caliphate, it says in 1711 a Muslim army invaded the Visigoths kingdom of Hispaniola. Okay. Under Dud, it says the Islamic army ruler at Gibraltar in an 8-year campaign occupied all except the northern kingdoms of the Iberian Peninsula, okay, and the Umayyad conquest for Hispania, okay, Al-Anidas, okay, probably lands of the Visigoths is the Arabic name given to what is today southern Spain by the Muslim Berbers and the Arab occupiers, okay? So let me show y'all this map. Okay, y'all can see where the caliphate, how far it went, how much of the territory occupied, Islamic rule, okay? So I'm going to go into that, okay? It says I'm going to look right here. Says the 8th century, from the 8th to the 15th century on in the southern part of the Iberian Peninsula was incorporated into the Muslim world, the Islamic world. It became a center of culture and learning itself during the Caliphate of Cordoba, which reached its heights under the rule of Rahman III. It says the Muslims, which were literally Arabs and Berbers, included some converts. Okay, it says the Muslims were referred to. It says the Muslims were referred to by, I have to come closer, the generic name Moor. Okay, says the Reconquista. We already learned about the Reconquista, but it seemed like we about to get into that because now they want to read. That means you about to reconquer something from somebody. Gain monumentum on 718 when Casasina Gusted opposed the Moors, the southern march to push out the Muslims continued for 300 years. So for another 400 years only, the southern part of the Iberian Peninsula was transformed into a Rome, that's Romance speaking. So you got Rome, you got Portugal, and you got some other languages, but they fall under the Romantic languages, right? Romantic speaking and Arab speaking Muslim land, along with pockets of large minorities of Arab speaking Sephardic Jews, okay? We're gonna get in them Sephardic Jews, okay? We're gonna get into that. We just gonna get into that, okay? But so between the 8th and the 15th century, okay, it says only the southern part of the Iberian Peninsula was not incorporated into the Muslim world and became the Muslim world the Islamic world and became a center of culture and learning. Okay, so because that's what was going on, that and because of this reconquest that they took in effect. Okay, 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 okay. It says from there they aimed to reconquer their lands from the Moors. It says this war of reconquest is known as the Reconquista. Christians and Muslims kingdoms fought and allied among themselves. The Muslim Taraf kings completed. Okay, okay, okay. Of the arts. Okay, but what am I trying to get to? Like, okay, okay. So pilgrims from West Europe came in. Okay, it says in the Jewish population set the basis of the Sephardic culture. It says during the Middle Ages, the peninsula housed many small states, including the Kingdom of Castile, the Crown of Aragon, the Kingdom of Nav, Nav, Navarre, the Kingdom of Leon, the Kingdom of Portugal. It says the peninsula was part of the Caliphate, the Alma. I'm gonna say that wrong. I'm not even gonna attempt Caliphate until they were finally uprooted. It says the last major Muslim stronghold was Granada. Okay, it says which was conquered by a combined Castilian and Aragonese force in 1492. Muslims and Jews throughout this period were uh, okay. They were tolerated and shown intolerance in different Christian kingdoms. Okay, however, after the fall of Granada, all Muslims and Jews were ordered. Okay, hold on. 1492, Granada. They say Granada was infiltrated by these forces, right? It says all Muslims and Jews were ordered to convert to Christianity or face expulsion. We know that they either face expulsion or you either, convert or die. Okay? Okay. And many Jews and Muslims fled to North Africa and the Ottoman Empire, while others publicly converted to Christianity and became respectively known as Moranos. And okay, however, many of these continue to practice their religion in secret. Okay, it says the Moroscos reverted many times and were ultimately forcibly um, forcibly expelled from Spain in the early 17th century. Okay, so so since this was going on over there on the Iberian Peninsula, okay, this is what was going on here. The Inquisition of the New World. This what was going on here. Okay, so it says, let's get back to it, cause I'm still I'm still up here, the Iberian Peninsula. Okay, I concluded a brief review of the origin of the Inquisition in Spain and Portugal and the Spanish territories in the New World and the arrival of the Jews to the newly discovered lands. Now, hey, speaking about the Jews. Now, when I read this document, when they speak about Jews, sometimes they're going to be referring to us and sometimes they're going to be referring to the convert.